Hello, so today's video is going to be really an eye-opener if you're open to it. If you're open to looking at your life from a questioning perspective, not just living things as they are. So today's video is, if you've been ever off-center, if you let people guide what you do, if you're about to do something that really lights you up, or you want to say something and then you think, oh, what will people say? How will I be viewed? What does that mean to my partner? What does that mean to my parent? What kind of, I don't know, son, daughter, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend would I be if I do that? So if you've been caught in this video is for you. Okay, there's one point that changes everything, really. We get so caught up, we're taught to look at that kid, look how everybody is doing, can you just behave like everybody else? And we're taught to mirror other people, we're taught to copy them because that is the normal, that is how we're supposed to be, right? And it wasn't meant in a negative way necessarily, but oftentimes it's just how our mind perceives it. So we look at others to see how far we can go. We look at others to see how low we can go, like what is not acceptable, what is acceptable, what is other people's definition of success, what is other people's definition of failure, and we are guided by that. So let's start off with somebody I was working with who wasn't open to their emotions, and these are most of the people that I work with. This is who I was before, because I'm very masculine energy driven, which is the analytical mind, very, like the thinking mind. Everything has to be analyzed, everything has to be reasonable, and emotions are kind of icky and meh, and let's not go there because we don't want to deal with that. Okay, that was me in the past. And so many of the men that I work with, they come with this, men don't cry, it's not okay to express your emotions. And even when I encourage to release and just whenever you want to just cry or be angry without a story, this is difficult, especially the crying. The anger is sometimes easier, most of the times. So it's really important to see when did that message, that crying wasn't okay, who did it originate from? And for so many people, it's often their fathers. I would say it's not okay, you have to be tough, you have to be strong. Or a lot of people who had really strong women as role models, like if your mother raised you and she was like, you have to be strong, don't cry now, don't let yourself down. So crying was associated with weakness. I want you to ask yourself, who are you taking advice from? In a sense that oftentimes those fathers that say, men don't cry, it's not manly to feel your emotions, which, by the way, side note, those are all feminine, this is feminine energy. So being angry, those are still feminine energy. And unless you combine the two and you learn for your masculine and your feminine to go together, you're still going to be experiencing those ups and downs, okay? So men feel their emotions, actually. So who is it that you're listening to, okay? Is it coming from your father who has anger issues and who wasn't able to express himself and is miserable because of that and is making everybody around him miserable? Is that who you're listening to? Are those your standards? For myself, I found that I was very driven, like, oh, you shouldn't be lazy, or if you're not doing enough, like in a productive kind of way. And looking at other people and then seeing that, whoa, it mirrors me, I realized that we listen to things like, you're lazy, you're not doing enough, from workaholics who are in constant states of burnout and who are likely to die of a heart attack. That's who we listen to. Those are our standards, and we feel bad. Even if it's unconscious, some people like openly feel like, oh my God, I'm not doing enough. For some people, it's very subconscious and it's very subtle. These subconscious blocks can be so subtle you don't actually know you have them unless you go digging, and then it comes up like, shit, I'm living a pattern of something that my mother or father said when I was 4 years old, okay? So catch yourself. What is that belief? What is the negative self-talk that you tell yourself that, like, It's not okay to feel my feelings. It's not okay to be vulnerable. If I'm expressing my emotions, then I'm weak. I'm lazy. I have to work hard to go for what I want. Whose words are those? And question number 2. Is that how you want to be? Is that who you want to be? Is that your role model? Are you following the person that you actually want to be like? Because seeing all these people that, and there were a lot of people, like I just grew up around very driven, successful people, who were successful, had that outer success, but are actually miserable inside. And looking back, I'm like, hell no, I don't want to be that. So why do I follow that advice? Why do I make myself feel bad when I'm like, quote unquote, not productive by whatever crazy standard I put on myself that originally came from those people, from that talk, because that's how I was raised. I don't want to be that. That father who says, or mother, their caregiver who tells you, you can't be weak, you have to be strong right now. You can't show your feelings, you can't be authentic. Is that who you want to be like right now? Because a lot of those cases, and I'm it's from experience of my own and clients as well, a lot of those cases are people who end up pushing everybody away, are alone, and hate the world, and completely closed off. Because that's what happens in the long run when you don't feel your emotions, when you shut everybody out, when you shut yourself out, you end up shutting everybody else out. Is that who you want to be like? So I invite you 2 questions. First of all, who is it from? Second, is that what you're going for? Listen to the people who you want to be like. If that person is where you want to go, like, ooh, I want to be that. So listen to them. Because people who are actually successful in the way that we want to be, like they inspire us because they are their best selves. It's not somebody who's going to tell you you're not doing enough. It's not somebody who's going to say, don't feel your emotions, because those people are whole. They feel wholeness, they embody wholeness, they radiate wholeness. They are the best versions of themselves because they don't come from a lack. So 2 questions to ask yourself whenever you catch yourself being in that negative talk, negative self-talk, being too hard on yourself, or just being hard on yourself if your standards are so high. I hope this was useful. I hope this resonated. Have a powerful day.